Hey everyone, welcome back to some more Fire Emblem 3 Houses. And I've got something massively important to talk to you guys about. At least I think it's important. Alright, so don't skip this. This is not a classic introduction. This is maybe even something you guys wanted to see. Alright? So, I got a comment. And I'm not sure how to think about the comment. I think it was fair play to say, because all they did was mention that when they were blind, they made an observation. And the observation that they made was based off of facts that I already had. And I told you guys, if it's something that I missed in a video, then that's something that by all means feel free to tell me. The problem with this is something that it's not that I missed it, so to speak, it's that I didn't draw the connection, if it does exist. And I feel like this is one of the things that probably people really wanted to find out. Of course, it's not, I don't know if... Alright, let's just go. Alright, I've been stalling. What is it? On Edelgard. Her dislikes in particular. Reading it again, it says outdated values, crests, rats, chains, swimming, losing control. I noted the outdated values, the crests, the swimming, losing control. You know, we had strange dislikes, like for example, Leone and Shamir, they hate bugs. So that's what I was thinking originally when I saw rats. Somehow, I glossed over chains. And what the comment said in particular was that when they saw rats and chains together under dislikes, that seemed kind of sus. That's a fair thing to point out. But those of you who may have forgotten since it's been so long, but I actually tend to theorize on stuff. And when it comes to Edelgard, the last time I theorized on something with her, I thought in the most positive light. When she was the Flame Emperor, I was like, there's no way it can be her. I thought it was a twin or a clone, because I was like, there's no way. Now, I got in the habit of thinking negatively. But I remember there was one thing in the Golden Deer route that Lysithea said.
I get the sense that they're in league with the mages who experimented on me as a child. I wouldn't be surprised if Edelgard was subjected to them too.
That's a question. Subjected? If it is true.
There's no telling what their true motives are. But whatever their motives, what they have done is unforgivable. They must be exterminated.
Shoot. You know, I never really gave that too much thought. If she was subjected to them, what if... Oh, okay. Alright, and suddenly I am starting to see a possible reason of how I could like Edelgard. Okay. Actually, things make sense. Alright. Lysithea gave me the final piece of the puzzle. I could not have done that in the state that I was, because, like I said, I didn't truly want to see Edelgard as anything but the enemy. Here's the thing. Her uncle possibly being in league with, or maybe the leader of those who slither in the dark. If that's the case, that means they are already deep into Foltland. So, if that's true, and if it's also true that they experimented on Edelgard, that means Edelgard has been in pain and under their control, or under their thumb, not control, under their thumb for the longest time. So Edelgard decided she's finally had enough. And she wants to strike back at them, but she can't do it without, you know... She wanted to work with them because they were already... It's like, if she didn't, they would have gone about their plans without her. So she played... That's what I was missing. That is the one thing that would have, I didn't speak on that. I meant to speak on it before I got to this point. I was gonna say if Edelgard felt that there was no choice but to do, I think I did say that, but to do what she did, that is a way I can forgive her. About Edelgard, that I admitted if this was the case, I would look at things differently. And that's if Edelgard, like Lysithea, was a victim of what I know Lysithea to be a victim of the cruel experimentations and the like. Now we gotta go on a journey because there's a bunch of facts I can use to support that. First off, she was born as the 4th daughter of the Emperor, okay? And considering that she seemed to have forcefully removed her father from power, that implies that he's corrupt. The fact that she's the 4th daughter. Now, when it says 4th daughter, we don't even know if there were sons. I mean, maybe there were. But, and there was, for some reason, she had to flee to the kingdom. It makes me wonder, like, was there some sort of purge of all the other heirs? Or were they perhaps subjected to the same experiments? Because we know from Lysithea... Wait, when's that date? Okay. House Rim revolted 3 years after Lysithea was born. Still though. I know that from Lysithea, many people did not survive the process. It would seem quite a coincidence that Edelgard, among, all the people, would survive. So that's why originally I had thought it made me feel better about the situation if Lysithea was the test for Edelgard. But now, with that, with her dislikes, you could even say, this is why I didn't want to get too deep, because swimming could even be a sign of water torture, for example. I don't know, but the fact, it seems very implied that either it's the chains with the rats, because she could just have seen a lot of corruption and, a lot of people in chains and hated that. But rats implies that she spent a lot of time with them, at least I would think. In other words, I am wondering if Edelgard was locked up for an extended period of time. And during that time, she begged for Sothis to save her. And Sothis never came.
Even if one clings to their faith, the goddess will never answer them. Countless souls will be lost that way, living without purpose. And I can be counted among those who have died that way as well.
Do you mind explaining that?
But that's why I must change this world, on behalf of the silent and weak.
Hence, explain some of the things she said to Dimitri as well. And if that all is the case, what I hate about it is that while pointing it out in itself, it's not not like that person was spoiling anything. I don't even know if that's true or not, right? They just pointed out that those two things are on her dislikes. So, but it's more the fact of, if I hadn't known about it and that is the case, it would have caught me completely off guard and probably been a really emotional, not like it still won't be. I'm just saying the fact that I would have never seen it coming. You could say that's because I was, especially after last episode, I was so frustrated about things, but considering what has happened in the past, and to be honest, it still should not change how I look at her goals and ideals. But at the very least, it would certainly make me sympathize a lot more for her character. Either way, right now, that's all in theory territory. It's not been confirmed. No one has confirmed or denied it. So if you're in the comment section and you played the Black Eagle route, just try not to even acknowledge this section. Alright, I know that might be difficult, but it's for the best, for if you all want me to see it, Because if I know it exists, like, thinking you know and knowing are completely different things, right? So just, I want to let you all know that that happened, what my thoughts are, and maybe we'll get some clues into this episode, because not only do I have some stuff with Edelgard, but I also have another support with LINHARDT. I don't think Lycithia would bring it up in a C support, of all things. Still. And I also got some more stuff with... Nah, Hubert's probably not going to bring it up. He and LINHARDT got beef. So... But there are a lot of interesting supports that I see on the list today. So... Oh, and yeah, Bernadette, I think, completed hers first out of everybody. Which is fitting. So... Anyways... With that being said, who should I get started with? I'll start with Edelgard and Ferdinand, kind of like a light one, and then we'll move down the list.
You came at just the right time, Edelgard.
Because I imagine this is going to be a competition.
Is that so?
Yes, I have a story for you.
Oh, really?
It's about a pair of nobles living about 100 years after the founding of the Adrestian Empire.
Which I also would have probably done that. The Hresvelg comment that I made in last video, I mean, it's still relevant. Just saying. The way I look at Edelgard will probably... I'm probably back to neutral, maybe even slightly positive. We'll see.
One was Derek von Eyre. People called him the warrior prime minister. He bravely led soldiers into battle and mowed down his enemies.
Something tells me she already knows this, Ferdinand.
And the other
Was the emperor of the time. She wagered the throne in a duel against Derek and won.
She? Interesting.
Why don't we do what our ancestors
What?
did and have a little duel ourselves?
Holy Jesus. What is
It
that?
probably was a good time for me to see that, I guess, because I have never heard her do it. I am seeing all different sides to her. She seems normal here. I mean, she... Anyways.
That's what you were going to say. But the answer is no.
You interrupted me!
Well, like I said, Ferdinand, I'm pretty sure she knows.
The warrior prime minister used a dramatic line to propose the duel, and you did not allow me to say it!
My apologies, Ferdinand.
Well, at any rate, you were correct in surmising that I was about to challenge you.
I mean, you did a good way of dressing it up, at least by the story, but then once you started explaining the story, it was obvious, man.
But you were rather blunt in your refusal.
Yes. I could say a little something about that, about how I normally like that, but we're gonna move on.
Ferdinand, control yourself. When will you tire of challenging me in pointless competitions?
I can quit now if you insist on it. I will not challenge you again.
Honestly, though, I think it's... Could you say a form of flattery? He wants a rival. Ironically, like Bernadette said to him, which is funny. But you know, a big thing I think with guys, you know, we like to compete. So...
You expect me to believe that?
I mean, I don't know.
Why do you look so surprised? Of course it is not a valid duel unless both parties are willing.
That is true.
Now that you have refused outright, I must come up with some other way of getting that which I seek.
I'm afraid to ask what you could possibly mean by that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what direction are you talking about?
Only that I will find some other way of showing everyone that I am superior to you.
Okay.
I will write a handbill listing your accomplishments, alongside my own more impressive accomplishments.
Ferdinand, don't do that. You can manipulate so much by that, and people wouldn't trust if you wrote it and your accomplishments seem better. If you wrote it and Edelgard's accomplishments seem better, then they might be more willing to trust what it said, but...
Copyists will produce thousands of these pamphlets and distribute them far and wide. Then everyone will know about my...
Ferdinand, please don't. Don't bother people with that.
This has to stop. Perhaps I should have ended things with a duel after all.
Have they never dueled? Alright, well on that note, let's go to Ferdinand and I'll save the rest of Edelgard's for last.
Just look at this place. It's so beautiful, I believe I should take a nap and enjoy it properly.
Linhardt, lost in thought, I see. Unacceptable. Are you not aware that a noble's duty is to be ever vigilant?
Rest increases alertness. Is there something I can do for you, Ferdinand?
Well, not when you're actually asleep.
Well, I was just passing by, and I thought I could give you a little advice.
I've noticed Linhardt has a very good, well, not very good, but he makes a habit of coming up with excuses pretty quickly.
You always seem to be napping. Why not spend your free time doing something productive?
Easier said than done, Ferdinand. I'm afraid I suffer from a constitution that tires easily.
I have to, and every time I want to be upset with him about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably actually true. Darn it.
Some training will remedy that.
Maybe. Maybe.
Let us work on that today. I will train you myself. Arise, Linhardt. The righteous path of the noble lies before you.
You're always giving it your all, aren't you?
Which I do appreciate.
Yes, I am. Is there something wrong with that?
Of course not. In fact, I rather enjoy your demeanor. You go all out even when others wish you wouldn't. You work hard, inspire the admiration of others, and your dignity as a noble is beyond reproach.
Which, by the way, I wanted to mention, well, I'll mention it after this.
I consider it my mission to serve as a guide and a model for other members of the nobility.
Which I do like.
As capable as you are striking. Next to you, I am a mere infant.
Nah, don't say that, Linhardt. I've done seen glimpses of what you're capable of.
Oh, you are far too kind. Although I do work hard each day to achieve all of which you speak.
You've mastered all the important noble skills. You drink tea, talk about how great you are.
Wow.
Ride horses.
Wow.
Indeed. I went for a ride earlier today.
Wow.
Is that so? You'll have to tell me about it sometime when I'm not walking away.
Where are you going?
I must get some sleep, being the infant that I am. Farewell for now, Ferdinand. Oh, noble among nobles.
Noble among nobles? Seems a bit much. Did he say get some sleep? Hey, wait!
What I was gonna say is that compared to, I think there are like 3. Would you say there's an archetype in every house that's filled by each character? I kind of would. Like, for example, I think that, well, there is a, oh, no, maybe not. It's hard to say. All right, let me not go there, but there are 2 people in particular that I can think of who are obsessed with being a noble. That's Lawrence and Ferdinand. The Blue Lions, I think they don't really, it's interesting. They actually don't seem to highlight their nobleness as often. Sylvain, you know, doesn't really have a taste for it, and I think he's the closest one. So I was gonna say, I think out of all the nobles who like or have pride in being a noble, I like Ferdinand's way the best. The only thing is that he tries to compete himself with the Emperor, or future Emperor. Which, in a friendly competition, you know, that's cool, but he takes it to extremes. So, anyways, let's continue.
Ah, Dorothea. The dining hall seems so much brighter with you here.
Well, this is interesting.
Ferdy, I must say you are quite adept with flattery. Please, give me some more.
Well, I guess asking you shall receive, but 2 things. One, well, actually, it's 1 thing, but 2 parts. She doesn't call Bernadetta Bernie. She calls her Bern, but she does call Ferdinand Ferdy. And it does look like she has nicknames for everybody. Okay, I guess it was 2 things. Still kind of all connected. Interesting.
Flattery? No, I was not. There you go with that attitude again.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, is Ferdinand the type? Well, I mean, obviously he can flatter somebody, but like, is that a character-defining trait of his?
Why do you reserve such cold treatment for me and me alone?
Really?
Do you hate me, Dorothea? Or have you some other reason to avoid my company?
I underestimated you. I assumed your noble upbringing had dulled your perception. But you got it right on your first try. I hate you.
Well, put all the cards out on the table.
Huh, I was right. Might I ask why you find me so despicable? I can scarcely guess.
Don't waste another minute thinking about it.
That will not do. I do not think you would hate a person for no reason.
No.
Perhaps. How's this? If you can guess why, I'll let you know if you're right.
I have an idea, though what my idea is, on the fear of it being wrong, I really don't want to say it. I feel like I should write it down on like a piece of paper or something.
The brains of us common folk are so simple, it should be pretty easy for a big shot noble to sort out.
Though, from what she's saying, it seems like it's similar to what you would say to Lawrence. I didn't think Ferdinand was that type of person, though.
Very well. I cannot walk away from a challenge. I have no choice but to chance a guess. You are always making fun, calling me a big shot and so forth. Perhaps you think all nobles are... No, it cannot be that simple.
That's what I would think, which is why I'm leaning towards my other answer, but...
Oh? What can't be that simple?
Please, will you not give me a clue?
Well, let me see. A good clue? I know. It's because you're like a bee.
I think I get it. Always buzzing in your ear.
That ought to be enough of a clue. So long, Ferdy.
A bee? I haven't the slightest. Perhaps because I am such a diligent worker?
And thinking about it, well, people don't exactly bother me. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one for now until we know more, which will be a minute. At least until I get the B between the two of them. Okay, well, I guess... Oh, that was all of Dorothea's. Was it? I thought I had more. Okay. Then why don't we go to Hubert LINHARDT?
Well, this is fascinating. Following this equation...
LINHARDT. Here again, I see.
I would think you would approve it. He's studying, at least.
Go away, Hubert. Now is not a good time. Ah, yes. The double line becomes a helix, and its arc... No, that cannot be correct.
Why are you studying, Cress?
Now is exactly the time. Lady Edelgard requests your presence.
But, like... For what? If it's for class stuff, then, you know, wouldn't I be saying it? You know, she's a student right now.
Come. The lecture is about to start.
Okay, Hubert, just say that. Alright, not the first thing.
Politely inform her that my research is vastly more important than whatever it is she has to say.
While your passion may be admirable, it is sadly misdirected. This matter takes priority. Return to your hobby when your duty is done.
He's a student right now. Like, if it's... You're confusing me.
Hobby? But this research will most certainly prove useful in the future.
The Empire requires you to be useful now. I should think you would want the same.
You guys are in school, you know, you can take some time to learn some stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to say he should miss lectures, but...
You have an almost unparalleled intellect, a singular focus, and unfettered imagination. In truth, you have talents that many, including myself, will never have the privilege of possessing.
Are you complimenting me, Hubert? That alone deserves to be studied.
Well, I think he cares about the Empire, because as extension, you know, Edelgard cares about the Empire, so, you know.
Let me finish. I haven't an ounce of respect for the cause you have chosen to waste your talents on.
Research?
Which changes frequently, I might add,
Oh.
with no rhyme, reason, or results.
That's fair.
Learn to apply yourself to something constructive. You may still have a bright future.
That sounds suspiciously as if you're not going to leave me alone.
Nah, I don't think so.
I just want to live a life doing things that interest me. Is that so wrong?
Unfortunately, people must see value in your work. If they don't, then it'll be harder for you to make your place in the world.
That is unacceptable, even for a nobleman. Her Highness will soon ascend the throne. She is attempting to deal with such noble privilege head-on.
Yes.
You have a point, and I understand where you're coming from. But I can't do it. I can't bring myself to work for someone else.
Maybe it's just me, but I mean, I get why Hubert. Let's talk about that. I get why Hubert is probably calling him. I would think that Edelgard is slowly trying to get the other nobles on. Well, here, the other students who are nobles along with her plan, because having them in her corner would be very advantageous for the future. So, from that standpoint, I get why she would be calling them, but I've never seen Dimitri or Claude flex their weight around like that. Though in Dimitri's case, many of the Blue Lions were his friends, but even with Ash, he was like, I'm just Dimitri here. And Claude, I don't need to say anything. So, it is a different take. And, yeah. I mean, Hubert said the lecture was about to start, so I thought it had something to do with us, but I guess not.
Pathetic. Keep to your books, then. Goodbye, Linhardt.
Alright. On that note, why don't we go to... Oh, yeah! Sure, why not? We'll go to LINHARDT and Casper, which apparently they're friends. I've been interested about this.
You're looking pretty tired, LINHARDT. I think you could use a little more of the fighting spirit.
And it's very interesting that these two are friends.
I believe you have enough fighting spirit for the both of us.
Enough? There's no such thing. You need as much as you can get if you're gonna train.
I'd rather pace myself. You're becoming too much like your father.
Well, I don't think that's a bad thing. Oh, depends on who his father is. Yeah, it really depends on who his father is.
I still recall with startling clarity the time he forced me to do some training.
Because I remember his father aligns with Edelgard, right? Not that it means he's a bad person, but, like I said, my feelings about the war still are yet to be determined.
Ha! I remember your father wasn't too happy about that. Our fathers actually got into a fight over it.
And hold on, I missed something. I didn't read that. Oh, do some training? If their fathers got into a fight over training, Linhardt's condition must be actually real, and must be as a result of Flame's crest. That's my thought process.
They hate one another so much. I simply cannot fathom what's wrong with the two of them.
Does Casper have a crest? No, I don't think so, right? I don't think so. We're checking this afterwards. In fact, yeah, we're checking all their crests after this.
I wish they'd just have it out already. One big fight to settle things. My father would win, obviously, but it would still be fun to watch.
That would be rather cruel. I don't think anyone in Fodlan could beat up your father.
Really?
My father does have the height advantage, though.
I can believe that Casper's father is pretty strong. Never seen him.
Height advantage? What does that matter?
When two opponents are of similar strength, the one with the height advantage wins. It's pure math.
Not necessarily. Well, I mean, if they're at similar strength, that's not the only factor, Linhardt.
Whoever forces the other to submit wins. That's how fighting works. It has nothing to do with height.
In fact, it's often difficult to determine who would win a fight because there are so many other factors that could play a part. It's not this person will beat this person all the time. It's more percentage based, which I guess is partly math, but still.
Brute strength alone doesn't decide a fight. And taller people have longer limbs, too. Longer limbs equates to a longer reach. Taller people can hit you from farther away. Oh, and they have more leg strength.
But you were saying similar strength. Well, okay, I guess I looked at it more as proportion-wise. Like, if he and Casper had similar strength, then LINHARDT's height would be a factor in that strength. You know what I mean?
There's also that... Well, I'm bored explaining this. I think you get my point.
No, I don't get it. Now you're talking about limb length and reach? None of that matters when you're up close and brawling.
There's too many factors just to say height makes a difference. I mean, it can be an advantage. It can be an advantage or it can be a disadvantage. I've seen a lot of short people who also can use their short height to their advantage as well, because they'll probably be faster.
You know, I'm going to agree with you just so I don't have to keep talking.
If you've got something else to say, then come out and say it. Actually, no, forget this. I'll prove it to you myself.
Though, Casper, if we're talking about that, I do think you're currently one of the weaker members of the team.
Some of those new knights look pretty tall. I'll fight one just for you.
Casper, you don't have to.
And off he goes.
Okay. Oh, he's there.
They're all so strong.
Yeah.
I can't land a single blow.
Yeah, you're not on their level yet.
So it's as I said then, isn't it?
Well, that doesn't... That's anecdotal evidence, LINHARDT.
The tallest fighter has the advantage. And my father could beat yours in a fight.
We'll get back to that, I guess. Do I? Yeah, I guess. Sure. LINHARDT and Lysithea, this should be interesting.
Aha, Lysithea. It's wrong to tease, yet I can hardly help myself. I know a secret. Your secret, in fact.
There's no way. I literally just said... Wait. First off, Lysithea's in her new gear. That changes this? I didn't know that, number one. Number two, there's no way LINHARDT's literally about to say the thing that I thought he would bring up in the support.
I think you mean a baseless rumor. Why are you wasting your time? And mine, for that matter.
She looks older with this.
Well, it's a secret that could completely overturn what is considered common knowledge in Crest research.
There's no way.
Shut your mouth. Just... Let's go talk somewhere other than here.
You gotta be kidding me, LINHARDT. You figured that out?
Okay. Where did you hear about it?
There was a sort of accident in Professor Hanneman's room.
Which reminds me, I still have not completed Lysithea and Hanneman support. I've been wanting to do that for a minute now. I'll try to do that this route. Oh, no, I definitely will, because the last route we're doing, one way or another. You know, if I... Either way.
I should have figured. You haven't told anyone, have you?
Of course not. If someone else were to learn you have 2 crests, I might lose you as a test subject.
What the heck? I don't think I realized this. Wait, no. You obviously realized this for Lysithea when you first get her. I just didn't know it was a big deal until later. And the Golden Deer. What the heck, LINHARDT?
Please stop talking so loudly.
Consider me... I was completely wrong then.
So what if I have 2 crests?
Well...
If you insist on speaking of it, please do so quietly.
My intuition was correct. You do have 2 crests.
Intuition?
Wait, what? Did you just trick me?
Alright, LINHARDT. Alright. I gotta give you props for that. But to be fair, Lysithea and Hanneman do talk about this, but so it added credibility. Still though, and I assume that happens canonically before this conversation, because Lysithea seemed convinced that was even a possibility, or maybe when you just... Either way.
Trick is such a strong word. I think of it as testing a hypothesis.
Alright, nah, I gotta applaud LINHARDT for that. That was nice.
The truth is, I simply made an educated guess.
1 second.
Well, now that I've confirmed it for you, there's not much I can do.
How do you even figure it out? Like, what led to this?
I disagree. For example, you could tell me if you were born with them, or is the source magical?
Well, about that.
What does it feel like to use both crests at the same time? Is it pleasant, painful, euphoric?
I don't think she can. To be frank, I rarely use Lynthart's second crest, which I am planning will hopefully change in this route. I want to try to use her swords more.
Enough is enough! I am done talking about this! As though I'd speak of this to the likes of you.
I understand her desire for privacy, but to refuse my request for knowledge? Well, it's rude.
Linhardt, you don't know, man. Which I don't blame you for not knowing. Because your assumption is that... Well, I mean, Linhardt's a knowledge type. I think regardless of what it was he still wanted to know, still. That is something you don't just ask her about. Well, shoot. Yeah, both of these are going to be about her crest then. Alright. Then I should get Hannah-Man and her supports soon. When can I get Hannah-Man? As soon as I can, I will. Alright, who's left? Oh. I see. It's a combination. Alright. We'll start with... Let's do Casper and Petra.
All right, time for some more. Oh, Petra. Hi.
What's up with this?
Caspar, do you want to train with each other?
Yeah, sure.
Yo, Casper, what's good, bro?
You have had new training recently, and great improvements. I want great improvement too. Will you give me help?
Well, hey, look at that. You pay more attention than I gave you credit for. I have been trying new training methods.
Casper, what's going on, man?
They're definitely paying off. My movements are much sharper lately, more precise.
I have another idea, but again, for risk of it being wrong, I'm going to keep it to myself unless it is confirmed true.
I am knowing that. I want that too. You teach, I learn. We both get more strength. It will be greatness.
All right. I mean, I guess we can give it a shot. Petra?
Yes, Caspar?
No, never mind.
What?
Sorry. I was just thinking about something else. Nothing at all. Let's train.
What's going on?
I heard a question in your voice. Say it.
Yeah.
No. It's really nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I will not be worrying. Can we begin the training?
Ah, fine. We can talk about it if you insist. You can stop pretending like you don't know.
What?
What am I knowing?
About my father.
Oh, is he mainly responsible for her being here?
Your father? He is of the military in the Empire. I hear he has great skill.
No, not that. Well, it's kind of about that. I'm talking about when Dagda and Bridget invaded the Empire.
Yeah.
My father led the Empire's army that fended off the invaders.
That has nothing to do with you two, though.
Your father was in that battle. Did you really not know? My father killed yours.
Ooh, Kale, that does make it a little bit more personal, but still.
How long have you had this knowing?
I just found out recently. I had no idea before then. But it's all I've been able to think about since.
I see.
So, now you have the truth.
So she already knew.
Petra? Damn it. What am I supposed to do now?
Well, I didn't expect a convo like this. I guess I gotta remember who Casper's father is. You would think with his station he would show up as a boss or something. I guess he's one of those that's too strong. Like, a certain someone. Dadgummit game. How are you gonna hype some people up and they just not show up? Alright. Casper and Edelgard.
Training again. You're certainly working hard, Caspar.
Oh, scared me. You should have said something.
I did, but no matter. What has you training with such intensity? It's never good to neglect one's training, but overdoing it is ill-advised as well.
That is true.
You could already give any student here a battle they wouldn't soon forget.
That is not exactly true, but you know, it's nice to say.
You think so? Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I can't really stop training, though. I gotta get better if I expect to get anywhere in this world.
In fact, it'll be fun to do like a ranking after I'm done with the... Well, but based off of stats alone, or performance in the route.
If memory serves, you're the second son of House Burgleys, right?
Well, yeah, you told me that.
That's right. My older brother is the heir, and there are already too many mouths to feed in our family, so I can't count on any support.
How many siblings do you have?
I pretty much have to make it on my own, you know?
I understand. It's difficult being born a noble.
Yeah, in many cases.
Those who inherit everything also inherit great burdens, but the same can be said of those who inherit nothing.
Honestly, everybody has their troubles, really.
What are you talking about? I don't have any troubles.
Okay, Casper?
Who cares if I don't inherit anything? It just means I get to cut a path to my own future.
Yeah, that is true. That's a positive way of looking at it. Every cloud has its silver lining.
You know what your problem is, Edelgard? You always have to make everything about you.
Casper? Hang on, I'm actually just think for a second about what he just said. I'll be back. I'm back. Let's just see where this goes after that, alright?
Are you picking a fight, Caspar?
Hey, now come on. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. Always happy to fight, though, if that's what you want.
I mean, no, he's not Ferdinand, but...
I have no desire to bicker with you. Good luck with your training. Goodbye.
What was that about? I'll never understand her.
Well, I mean, that was quite a rude thing to say, Casper. Shoot. I feel like I get into trouble if I say the wrong thing here. I'll say what I'm thinking to the best of my ability. That Casper's whole family, I thought, you know, Ferdinand has the J word I love so much, right? You know, that justice word. In fact, let me go back to Casper. What's his likes again? Yeah, vanquishing evil. Interesting phrasing. And he dislikes injustice. Okay. It's along the same lines. The reason I got upset with Casper is because it felt like he thought not that we were just the enemy, but that we were evil. Right? That's the difference. When for example, someone like Sylvain, although we were the Golden Deer at that time when I fought him, so maybe that's not, yeah, I didn't fight any Black Eagle members besides Hubert and Edelgard and the Blue Lions. Well, no, we got some good stuff from the way I did it. But anyways, point is that Sylvain, when he showed up in the Golden Deer route, he expresses like, I don't want to do this, but you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. Meanwhile, Casper was furious. And it's like I said before, with his uncle and with his aunt, they all seem to have that idea that they were the ones fighting for justice. Meanwhile, when my mentality with the Golden Deer was simple. Honestly, it's different if I'm playing the Golden Deer or the Blue Lions. And the Blue Lions, I felt guilty going into some of the battles based off of Dimitri's mindset, which he's not here, but you know. But with the golden deer, I'm like, we're literally just trying to defend our home. Like, I didn't even think this would be beef between us. So, as far as the moral standing, I did think we had I didn't think what we were doing was wrong. Like, what are we gonna do? Just let them come and take over the nation when we don't even know why Edelgard is doing this in the first place? No, that wouldn't work. And Edelgard even said at the end, you know, Claw's deals fit with hers. But anyways, point is, that's what I was frustrated about when Casper took out Nadir. It wasn't just him, it was also the fact that he thought the team that the Black Eagles were in the, or it seemed like he thought the Black Eagles were in the complete right. Maybe I misread that, but his interests and his comment about that is not the support, but his comment about when he was taking out Nadir. That's the feeling that I got. That's why Casper's was had so much more for me. And the same thing was with Fleisch. Though Fleisch's case, I completely understand why she did that. I mean, I think a lot of people would try to get revenge. Fleisch took it to a different step entirely and got way more people involved. And it was a whole reason I had to fight the golden deer in the first place. But either way, notice the trend. But going back to what Casper said to Edelgard, because that's a whole nother conversation. Because I was kind of thinking Edelgard was doing the same thing. Even if what happens with her happens, if she uses that as a reason to fight everybody else, that wouldn't be the way to go. Because other areas have it differently. I know she would at least probably have an idea of what the kingdom is like. I mean, she spent, I think, a year there, right? Can I find that out? Was it a year? Oh, no, it was 3. There you go. She spent 3 years. I don't know that much about the Alliance, and her lack of support there would... Well, anyways. Point is, that could also be why I am frustrated with that. Because, yeah, Dimitri said it himself. Forcing your ideals onto even one other person is nothing more than self-righteousness. I've rewatched their conversation like, what, maybe like 20 times now? It was good. Either way, I'm just curious on where things will go in the future.
Petra's really nice. Never yells, never says mean things about people.
Oh, you're thinking you can approach her?
Maybe she'd be my friend.
Bernadette has a very black and white way of looking at things, doesn't she?
Oh, there she is now.
Wait.
Okay, Bernie, you can do this.
Actually, it might be more than I thought, because her father, she wanted to protect her mom from the fighting, but she didn't care about her father. Well, I mean, at least that's what's implied. Because I thought both of her parents were scumbags, but Bernadette clearly cares for her mom in some way. So maybe how she interacts with guys and girls is reflected in that?
Bernadetta, are you needing help with something?
How did you know? Do you have eyes in the back of your head or something?
Maybe your footsteps?
I do not have that, no.
Right. Can I ask you something? Do you want to, maybe, be friends or something? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't like me. I don't know what you think of me.
I'm actually surprised that she's coming up and asking them.
What I am thinking? I am thinking that you remind me of prey.
Oh, Petra, I know what you mean, but darn it.
What?
Yes. Like a rabbit in the tall grass.
That's like literally the worst thing you could have said to her, Petra.
Always watching for enemies, and you flee at any sign of danger. You are quick also.
Well, at least she explained herself, and yeah, she is quick, which is why I don't know how Hebert caught up to her. But, yeah.
I must be careful that I am not hunting Bernie when I take out my bow.
Petra, not the move.
Oh, you try not to shoot me.
That's,
nice.
you have similarities with prey. That is all I mean to be saying.
But now you've put it in the head of one of the most paranoid people.
So you're saying you might end up hunting me?
There's no need to have concern.
Look at that! She's shaking!
I will make sure my arrows are not hitting you.
That isn't comforting. Whatever I did to deserve this, forgive me!
You do not need forgiveness, but it is yours if you are wanting it. Was I saying something wrong?
Everything, Petra. Not your best. I don't think you could have scared her more, honestly. Which, coming full circle, I guess this will confirm or deny what I'm thinking. Not even words. Okay.
Bernadetta, why are you following me?
What? Oh.
You were following me quite conspicuously, so why attempt to hide now?
Was it conspicuous? I didn't... I guess.
Please don't hurt me!
I feel so sorry for her every time she does that.
Calm yourself. I have no reason to harm you.
Forgive me, I beg you. I'll go straight back to my room and you'll never see me again, I swear.
Well, out of all the girls, Edelgard definitely is the most intimidating.
Bernadetta,
Yes, Lady Edelgard.
please explain why you were following me and why you tried to hide.
Is Her Highness saying she will not condemn me?
Please, speak like the human that you are. I already said no harm will come to you.
Yes, I'm sorry. Permit me to explain. Lady Edelgard, you are fearless. I look up to you as an example to follow.
I certainly can see why you would do that.
And that explains it. How?
She definitely is... She's confident in the goal that she's going to accomplish, and she is willing to do whatever it takes to get it accomplished in a way that is very admirable. Again, if it wasn't for the defeat of the people I care about in this game, then, well, not everybody, but either way.
I decided to watch you from a distance, to learn from you, but your presence is, intimidating. I got more and more scared until I finally couldn't help but try to hide. Forgive me, I threw myself upon your mercy.
Honestly.
I'm just thinking, Edelgard has a bunch of odd ducks in here, doesn't she?
Look, nobody is truly fearless. Even I have things that I'm afraid of.
Are you gonna mention it?
What? You do?
You seem oddly overjoyed at the thought.
Well, more just that you guys can be closer if she thinks you're human, because you definitely are.
No, of course not. But, what in the world could possibly frighten you?
The sea. I find the pitch black of the open sea at night quite frightening.
She did mention the sea. Why? Maybe that's just a fear, okay? And hopefully I can throw that out.
I can't swim, so
Oh!
if the sea were to wash me away, I fear I would never return.
You legit just can't swim! Darn it. Well, okay, cool. I can cross that off the list.
The sea? I think I may have seen it once. Maybe. I didn't know you couldn't swim. That's a surprise.
Do you know?
Again, my shortcomings delight you. Everyone has fears as well as things they can't do. How many times must I tell you?
Well, she has a history.
I really did make you angry.
Okay. Well, that was a good round of support and helped alleviate my fear on the whole. Yeah, I was going to a dark place with that one. Glad that is not the case. Well, so far. I mean, it still could be, but I'm going to assume that it is not until I know otherwise. What are Bernadetta's fears again? Yeah. It seems like she has a lot, but really she's just speaking to people, which can be... Oh, her father isn't in charge now? I just realized, born the eldest daughter of Count Varley's son. Interesting. There are a lot of... But now I think about it, it's interesting that Hubert killed his father if... Well, no, he would have had to if Edelgard removed her father. And Hubert's father would probably be, you know, the vassal to Edelgard's father. So it only makes sense that he had to kill his father. Or at least, you know, no, he'd have to kill him. He'd have to. I admit that, because if they did anything to remove her father forcefully, which they, I'm pretty sure 95% did, then there's no way his father would stand for that. Hubert's father. Okay. I actually did have one more thing. I mean, there were a bunch of level ups. I'll just go through them real quick. And some battalion usage as well. But the main thing, I think, is this. Look at this. First off camera. Bernie's crest activated. Not once. And yeah, Dorothea got Nosferatu. I think they got Magic 2 and drawback. Bernie decided to go for a combo deal. I saw a comment saying that for them, Bernie's crest activated like 4 times. There's 2 for me. Not even in an actual battle. I'm wondering if there's probably not a way to increase it. Well, maybe. Although I don't think I have any Saint crests. Items? Not here. Darn it all. Okay. Well, okay, so she's in deck. Sethlene, of course. Keyhole. Saros. Wait, no. Is it true? Is it true? In deck? Sethlene, Keyhole. Who's missing? First off, I'm surprised that a lot of them don't have crests. Well, I mean, Bernadette Petra makes sense. Dorothy is a commoner. But Casper, he's the second son, and Hubert is more of a vassal family. Their family meant to serve the Emperor. But there is one missing. Who is it? Keyhole, Sethlene, Indek, and Macule. Okay, Casper, I don't know if his father has a Macule crest. Shoot. That must mean Monica had a Macule crest. Okay. Alright, on that note, we're gonna end it here. So with that being said, with that being said, this has been Blade. Thank you all so much for watching as always, and I will see you all next time. And now it's time for the question of the day, and for this one, kind of inspired by LINHARDT and Lysithea, I'm going to ask you all, who do you think is the smartest member of the Blue Lions? One, because I kind of want to focus on stuff that was not in this episode, so people won't be compelled to talk about the beginning. But 2, because I'm genuinely curious. Unlike the Golden Deer and the Black Eagles, who kind of heavily hint at a certain character's intelligence, the Blue Lion, I feel like you could go multiple ways on who you think the smartest member is. So, and since I now have an idea of all 3 routes' main characters, I felt now was a good time to ask a question like this. So with that being said, please post your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you all next time.